Thanks, Jordan. So the sun is out. The ground looks beautiful here today. This brand new stand to our right hand side with 1946 in white letters, which eventually will turn out to be directors' boxes on top of that. The pitch looks absolutely beautiful, and we're going to have a few water breaks here today. Can the football produce today? Between two teams, well, Eastleigh have got a decent defensive record because they've kept 3 clean sheets already this season, but Gateshead have scored 14 goals in 7 games, and they came to the Silver Lake last season and won by 5 goals to 2. Arguably the best team that came to Eastleigh last season and pulled off quite a performance, probably up there with the Wrexham performance at Eastleigh last season. A very good afternoon. I'm Ian Wilding, listening to BBC Radio Solent, top flight of non-league football in the National League. It's on Hampshire frequencies, 96.1 FM, Hampshire DAB, Freeview 722, and it is online and the smart speaker. And a very good afternoon if you're watching on the National League stream as well, whoever you support. Good to have you there. 2 Eastleigh changes then. So Carter and McCallum come in, Barlow on the bench, and Hodgson, who picked up an injury last week, is not involved. That 0-0 draw at Dorking Wanderers. Both of these sides coming into this game off the back of draws. It finished Gateshead 2, Oldham 2 last weekend at the Athletic Stadium. Hunter and Wern were on the score sheet for Gateshead, who twice came from behind, and Oldham receiving a red card very late on in that game. Gateshead managed by Mike Williamson, the 39-year-old, the former defender for Portsmouth and for Southampton, although he didn't make a league appearance for Saints after joining from Torquay in the early noughties. And as for Eastleigh, interim charge at the moment is Richard Hill, who's picked up 4 points from 2 games. He's been manager twice. He guided Eastleigh to their highest ever National League position in 3rd in 2015. And in the second spell, he moved on halfway through the season and moved back to director of football with Andy Hessenthaler coming in. He said last week, results will dictate if I get the job or not. He said he hasn't thrown his hat into the ring or applied for the job, but he'll just see how it goes. 7 points from 7 matches for Eastleigh so far this season, though. And as for Gateshead, they've got 9 points from 7, played 12. They're 12th at the moment. So both sides will be looking to improve on that points tally as the players come out onto the pitch, led by the referee David McNamara. Eastleigh blue shirt, shorts and socks. Gateshead with their white shirts with black trim on their shirts, black shorts and black socks. These sides have met plenty of times now. They hadn't met at all until 2014, but they've now met 12 times. Eastleigh winning 4, 3 draws. Gateshead winning 5. I remember the first time they ever played was in 2014 when Eastleigh won by 2 goals to 0 in the FA Trophy in the last 16. Jamie Collins, who was sat by Ivan and Waterlooville yesterday, was on the score sheet that day, as was Stuart Fleetwood, in front of a crowd of just 330 that afternoon, and that got Eastleigh into the quarter-finals. There's a lot more than 330 here today, well over 2,000 here, and credit to those Gateshead supporters. I look over to that corner to my right-hand side who've made the long journey down. You'd say there's probably about 40 or so, which anybody who makes the effort down for a 660-mile round trip is quite some doing. The first time they met in the league as well was August 2022 in the National League when Strevens and Midson made it 2-1, and that was a crowd of just over 1,000, so it goes to show how far Eastleigh have come in that last decade. Ultimately though, top flight of non-league football action this afternoon, and it looks like it might be Eastleigh shooting from left to right as we sit. If you are watching on the screens on the National League stream, we are opposite to where the cameras are. So hopefully that doesn't make things too confusing for you. We'll try not to say the lefts or rights to you for too often. So the Eastleigh side then, we'll go through in more detail once we get this match underway. Credit to Gateshead though, last season they looked like they were going down at one point. Second half of the season they turned things around and even reached the final of the FA Trophy, where they lost against Halifax in May at Wembley. We're still waiting for this match to get underway, and we'll keep you up to date with any other goals that go in throughout the afternoon. No Cherry Saint or Pompey this weekend due to the international break. There's plenty of social media content though that you can listen to reflecting on our clubs. You've got Moon's Musings as far as Portsmouth is concerned, Saints and Sinners for Southampton, and then you've got Cherry's Unpicked, a Bournemouth chat with Jordan Clark and Chris Temple this week, talking about how things are going at Solent Sport on Twitter. A link to all of those episodes. So it's Eastleigh then who are going to get us underway by the looks of things, and it is Taylor, the bald-headed midfielder, who is going to get us underway, and we will keep you up to date throughout the afternoon. Any other goals go in. We've got live updates from Havant and Waterlooville, where Tom Murray is there against Truro City in the National League South. Appointed Steve King as their new manager yesterday. And we'll keep you up to date with any of the non-league goals that go in on our Dorset frequencies. We've got Weymouth in action away at Dover with Cliff Pledge in the National League South. It's Eastleigh against Gateshead, and we get this match underway. Back towards the defender, Rendell, on his making his first home appearance, having arrived on loan from Queen's Park Rangers. The ball goes down that far right hand side, and it's for a throw for Gateshead. Gateshead's left in line with their own penalty area. So Eastleigh have McDonnell in goal then, with Carter and McCallum coming into the side, Rutherford, Rendell, Langston and Baldwin at the back, Maguire and Carter out wide, Taylor and Wabuki in the middle, and McCallum up front with Quigley. The subs: goalkeeper Tommy Scott, Ryan Clampin, Nigel Attangana, Francelet and Barlow. As for Gateshead, they're in possession halfway inside their own half now, with a long ball out towards the right hand side towards Hunter. Hunter gets that on this near right hand side. He's on the right hand side of midfield. Comes back again for Gateshead, who have it now with Francis halfway inside the Eastleigh half. He chips it down the left hand side for Gateshead. Gateshead's left. They've got a chance here to take on Rutherford. Beats Rutherford. It's into the penalty area. It's into the arms of McDonnell in the Eastleigh goal. So Gateshead have a back four by the looks of things, although it can easily become a back five as well. Francis just in front of Booty, or with Booty I should say, in front of the back four. Hunter right back, Richardson, Tinkler and Grayson at the back, Francis and Booty in the middle, and you've got Hannant, Wern and Ollie off Dinanga, and here's Carter for Eastleigh up towards the centre circle. Flicked on that time for McCallum, and has to be said, the striker Marcus Dinanga is a real threat up front for them, banging in the goals again this season. 4 goals so far this season. He scored 13 in 15 on loan at Dartford as well a couple of seasons ago, and 14 in 45 at Telford. And their substitutes: Gateshead, Louis Story, Tom Allen, Aidan Rutledge, Conor McBride and Billy Chadwick. Long ball out towards the left hand side. That's going to be too far though for Luke Hannant, who's a real danger on that left hand side. But you've got 2 good players at full-back Eastleigh, Rutherford and Baldwin. They like to get forward, but it could make it for an interesting afternoon here, the fact that they both like to overlap. At the other end though, Gateshead good going forward, so it could be an entertaining afternoon. One back though, it's Baldwin obviously is normally naturally a winger or a forward, but in force really with the injuries. Clampin's still not 100% fit, Hodgson's out injured as well, Francelet only coming back from injury, and Aaron Martin and Corey Panther, the 2 centre-backs, they are all still out for Eastleigh. Throw for Eastleigh, Eastleigh's right, just underneath that terracing, back to Taylor, to Maguire. Chris Maguire, the ex-Portsmouth man who had a really good spell at Sunderland as well, now 35 years of age. Forward it comes now, in from Carter. Half away, and then Gateshead have it with Booty, who goes square towards this near right hand side, and it comes in field from Hunter, and Gateshead are going to regroup on this right hand side. 3 minutes in, and Gateshead in possession now outside the box. Forward it comes to Francis, who goes deep, left-footed ball forward, up to Hunter, too far for Hunter, back to McDonnell. Eastleigh goal, and it's all green, and Joe McDonnell, who made a great penalty save. He's one of the best, if not the best, when it comes to saving penalties, and he went the right way and stopped Dorking from winning the game last week when they were awarded a penalty on 88 minutes. Now forward it comes, 81 I should say, up to McCallum, right hand corner of the 6-yard box. He was on the chase, he did well, and then Gateshead are just forced to put that behind from Hannant, and out for the first corner of the game. Eastleigh's right, far side where we sit. 4 minutes in, forward comes Wabuki in the 6-yard box. Rendell's up there as well, so too is Langston, and McCallum and Quigley, and Carter stands just outside. One in the arm in the air from Maguire, with a deep ball in, but again it's too close to the goalkeeper that time. Archie Mayer, and it's all pink, picks that ball up. The tall goalkeeper rolls it left, and then Gateshead go long. Denanga, that's going to be too far for him from the halfway line, and that's back towards McDonnell in the Eastleigh goal. Would have been quite a pass if he'd have pulled that one off there, Wern, with the pass. Needs to come forward now though with Rutherford, halfway line, and then all the way back to McDonnell in the Spitfires goal. Lots of reaction to come from this game, and others as well on our breakfast sport bulletins next week from 7 o'clock every weekday. Here come Gateshead on this right hand side. Hunter comes back to Francis. Francis might shape to shoot here. He plays it towards Wern in field, in towards Tanganga, and then he just sails wide past the post. It was good movement, and he was put off there in the end, I think, from the defender Rendell. But Tanganga was so close there to finding the back of the net, but it went wide past the post and out of play for a goal kick. So Aaron Martin, there was 2 Aaron Martins on the pitch last week, one last season, one for Gateshead who scored twice. Campbell, Ollie and Bailey all on the score sheet in their 5-2 win at Eastleigh. Carter equalising for Eastleigh on 11 and Mitchell scoring late on. But they were 5-1 down by that point. Gateshead go long, Langston gets an off on it and heads it back to McDonnell. And McDonnell throws it out towards Rutherford with his red boots. Here on BBC Radio Solent. Flicked on down the far right. Rutherford wins it. Rutherford's down the right. Can Rutherford find the cross? He comes up to the corner flag. Comes back to Maguire. Maguire's deep cross. Punched away, and McCallum was over on the far post, and the referee's given a free kick anyway for the away side. 0-0. 6.5 minutes in. National League football. It's Eastleigh at home to Gateshead. Just a couple of games in League One today due to internationals. Exeter, Leyton Orient, Stevenage, Carlisle, they're both 0-0. Crawley 1, Newport 0 in League 2, and Swindon have taken the lead at home to Sutton. In the meantime, in the National League, no goals to tell you about so far today. Earlier on though, it was Halifax 1, Southend 1. Halifax reduced to 10 men. While we will have updates throughout the afternoon from Havant and Waterlooville as well. Ball down from Ollie, right the centre circle, back to Wern. Here is Ollie, who's halfway inside Eastleigh's territory. Just lobs it out towards the left. Good football this from Gateshead, down the left. Rutherford, does he trip his man? No, he doesn't. He can't quite control it on that left-hand corner penalty area, the Gateshead man. And out of play for a goal kick. Goalless in those 2 games in the National League South, involving Havant and Waterlooville and Dover against Weymouth. Number of our sides in Southern Premier League action today as well. Still goalless in those matches as well. Here at the Silver Lake Stadium, it's up towards Quigley. I don't know if it's going to play a part either, to be honest, the fact that it's so hot. It might reflect in less goals today. We'll have to wait and see. Quigley comes back towards Taylor, to Maguire, back to Taylor, and then Taylor goes wide to Rutherford, 10 yards inside the Eastleigh half. Up to halfway, here's Wabuki. Gosport have taken the lead at home to Hungerford. They're 1-0 up in the Southern Premier League. Out left towards Baldwin. Baldwin is going to try and get the better of Hunter here. Hunter close to him, comes back to Wabuki. Wabuki with a poor cross, straight to the Gateshead head. Back to Langston, the 6'2" defender, just left towards Baldwin. And then Gateshead goes square with a pass. And they have the ball inside their own penalty area. And Kenton Richardson has it now, in line with the corner flag. He's down that right-hand side. But again, they can't quite get it out their own area. Eastleigh have it back. Chipped into the edge of the box. Comes back to Rutherford. 9 minutes in, 0-0. Rutherford comes up in line with the penalty area. Down the right, but he gives the ball away. And then Gateshead have it now. You say Gateshead have had the best couple of chances so far, particularly that one from Denanga. And his touch just put it wide, just outside the 6-yard box and out of play for a goal kick. Gateshead in possession though, as they come up towards the halfway line. And they're into the centre circle. And there were 2 or 3 years when they didn't meet. That was because Gateshead got relegated in 2019 to the National League North for financial breaches. They finished 9th that season. Langston heads away for Eastleigh. Out to Carter, who heads it back towards Rabuki, and Rabuki just gives the ball away. And I think it's a bit hurried on the ball at the moment, Eastleigh. 10 minutes in, and Gateshead are in possession. Goalless here in Hampshire. Goes square, and then Gateshead again have it right in the centre circle with Richardson. And Richardson back again towards Robbie Tinkler, who's at the club now, rejoined for a 3rd spell in 2021. Good turn from Wern, and Wern is fouled from Rabuki, and Gateshead have got a free kick left to centre. 15 yards inside Eastleigh's half is taken quickly. Through ball here, Denanga might beat his man. He's well blocked, and he's going to get a shot the second time with his left foot, but it's saved from McDonnell. It's good defending, to be fair, from Rendell to stop him from getting a clean strike the first time. It came back to him. He had a left footer easily in the arms of McDonnell, and now Eastleigh on the attack. Maguire beats his man. He bursts down the right hand side. 3 players wait for it in the box. Maguire beats one man, then a second, looks for the cross, plays it square, just gets in front of Quigley, and it breaks down. So well he did to get himself in that position in the first place, but he played it square. It was an inch in front. Comes in from Baldwin, and Baldwin's ball is going to be too much of a heavy pass or a heavy cross. Right footer infield cross straight at Archie Mayer, the goalkeeper on a season-long loan from Norwich, who's had 2 or 3 things to deal with, and he's dealt with them well so far. 0-0, BBC Radio Solent. And here is Wern for Gateshead. Gateshead in possession from halfway, left to the centre circle. And we've been talking about how many minutes we've had of stoppage time this season. We'll have probably even more here. In the meantime, let's get a goal update. We'll get one from the Avenue in a second. But Gateshead on the attack here down the left-hand side. And comes back again this time to Booty. And now Eastleigh looking to get on the breakaway here, but that's going to be too far for McCallum. Let's find out who has got it then. Jordan Clark.
Big game this, Wilder, at the bottom end of the Southern League Premier Division table. Both teams with difficult starts to the seasons. It's the visitors, Swindon Supermarine, that have taken the lead in the 10th minute. Ryan Campbell putting the ball past Lloyd Thomas in goal for Dorchester Town. The Magpies yet to really trouble the other end of the pitch. Just approaching the 13-minute mark, it's Dorchester Town 0, Swindon Supermarine 1.
Thanks very much indeed, Jordan. Dorchester looking for results. They're off to a poor start there. Here there's no goals at the moment. Gateshead have had the better of the opportunities though so far, and they have the ball in the centre circle. It's also Didcot 1, Winchester 0 in the Southern Premier League. Out to this near right towards Hunter for Gateshead, who has it by the corner flag. He's got 2 to the right of the penalty area. Comes back again for Gateshead, and that goes to the right hand side to Richardson, who goes all the way back to the halfway line. And Gateshead in possession in the centre circle. Short pass, here's Booty with a short pass, played square straight to Taylor for Eastleigh. Gets it to Carter. Challenge comes in. It was a well timed one from Richardson. Here at Gateshead now with Francis to Wern, and Wern hits it, and again it was on target, but McDonnell not the pace he wanted, and McDonnell comfortably dives down to his right and picks that ball up. Good start for the Terrors as well in our Dorset Frequencies commentary there. 1-0 up away at Dover in the National League South. First goal in the National League today has gone to Barnet, who are 1-0 up at home to Altrincham. McCallum heads on for Eastleigh. Quigley's on the chase. That's going to be too far for him. Goes to the left of the penalty area and out of play for a goal kick. Colchester 1, Tranmere nil now as well in League 2. Crawley 1, Newport 1. 2 goals going in quick succession there elsewhere across the country. Nearly quarter of an hour gone. Still goalless in the National League South as well in our featured non-league game as well at Wesley Park. Havant and Waterlooville against Truro. Here with Gateshead in possession. It was Grayson for Gateshead. They go infield now towards the centre circle. And Gateshead, who still play at that international stadium, capacity of nearly 12,000 at that stadium. And they have the ball in the centre now with Francis. Francis with a good ball over the top to Wern. Wern's going to have space here. Wern shoots and it hits the post and Eastleigh get it away. This time it's cleared down the right hand side. Rendell clears. Wern had so much space then to cut inside and hit it. Eastleigh get away with that one. Here come Gateshead. Left-footed cross from the left-hand side. Baldwin heads it behind. It's a corner kick to Gateshead. Richard Hill, interim manager at the moment. I think I just sat down in his dugout at the moment and just see down as I look down. Mike Williamson to our left. He's gone back to sit down as well, with the Eastleigh gnome just on top of that dugout, which is always there permanently. So it is a corner kick to Gateshead, and they've got 4 in the 6-yard box and 2 outside. Wern comes as an option, but he's told to wait. They're just going to put it straight in instead. So a number of players in there for Gateshead. One of them's Tinkler. Wern goes short. It's a left footer into the 6-yard box. Wabuki clears. And Eastleigh have won just once so far in the league this season. That was against Aldershot, when Aldershot had their goalkeeper sent off and an outfield player coming on in the first half. Eastleigh winning 3-0. And then they changed goalkeepers again in the second half. Aldershot, when they decided they wanted the original one to go up front. Here is Ed Francis. Comes forward to space, 35 yards from goal. Diagonal pass to Wern, who's looking lively. Wern's into the box. Denanga back to Wern, well blocked from Langston, who gets his way, body on the line there and in the way of the goal. And good defending from Langston. Corner for the away side. Thrown to Booty. Headed away. It's had a good game, Rendell, for Eastleigh so far. But here they come again. And Gateshead have got lots of space here to shoot, and they do shoot, and they do score from Ollie. Well, that goal was coming. Greg Ollie, the captain, he took it well, and the away side inside the first 17 minutes have taken the lead. It's Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 1. Well, it was coming, that goal, because Gateshead were putting pressure on. They'd hit the post just not long ago. They have been by far the better side. And there's also been a goal, apologies there, slight technical, back at Havant and Waterlooville. Let's find out who's got it. Could be a big goal. Tom Murray.
It's actually Truro who have taken the lead at Wesley Park from their first corner of the game. As they crossed it in, it was headed towards the edge of the box. Mo Fowl got his legs all in a bit of a twist and set it up for Connor Riley-Rowe, who crossed it in towards the back post. The header actually hit the bar, and Ross Warner all on the floor. It was headed in at close range by the Truro captain Ryan Law. So as it stands, it's Havant 0, Truro 1.
Thanks.
Indeed, Tom. Yeah, it was an overthrow, wasn't it? That gave him the boundary.
In the meantime, here come Eastleigh. Here is Baldwin for the Spurs. Eastleigh in possession down the right hand side. Apologies again. Forward towards Wabuki. Right hand corner of the 6-yard box. They go for the cross. Here come Gateshead now though. And then they go back out towards the left of their own penalty area and they clear. So there's Steve King, Havant and Waterlooville. Boss has got his work cut out there. 4 points from 8 games going into today's game against Truro. and they currently trail 1-0 against Truro early on. Not a good start for Eastleigh either. Greg Ollie scoring. Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 1. We've found the bottom corner. It's also Stevenage 1, Carlisle 0 in League 1. Stevenage going well. Now here comes Maguire. It's given away in a poor position from Gateshead. It's in from Maguire. It's brought down from McCallum. Left-hand corner of the 6-yard box. He's just forced out towards the edge of the penalty area. Back to Carter. Carter hits it. Deflection. And it dipped down, but it went out for a corner kick. Behind the goal. It's a corner. It went just over the crossbar. Let's see if Eastleigh can take advantage here. The second corner of the game for Eastleigh. And Rendell comes forward, edge of the box, and Langston and Taylor and Carter and McCallum and Quigley all in the box. Corner kick in from Maguire. It goes over everybody. It comes back out to Carter, left hand corner penalty area, who's forced down the left wing. Back again to Carter. Carter to Taylor. Taylor goes left. He's looking for an equaliser. Wabuki towards Baldwin. Back to the goalkeeper. McCallum on the chase. Gateshead lead by 1-0. 20 minutes in so far. And it's brought down from Rutherford on halfway Eastleigh's right. That goes square to Taylor. Taylor to Carter. Well, one back from Ollie. And Carter does well to stay on his feet and regain the ball. Here is Carter for Eastleigh. That goes wide to Rutherford for the Spitfires. Diagonal pass. Maguire with his back to goal. The 5'7" winger. Out to Rutherford. Rutherford looks for the cross. He goes for the right-footed chip. It's away that time from Booty. Regan Booty, I remember seeing him playing for Maidstone last season. Real technical and versatile player. But for Eastleigh, they've had a couple of 0-0s this season. They scored 3 against Barnet, and they've been decent with those clean sheets. They've got the joint 5th best defence so far. But they're yet to score in the first half an hour this season. Can they change that in the next 8 or 9 minutes? 7 points from 7 games. Richard Hill, edge of his technical area, has gone for the aqua blue collared t-shirt and the shorts. Don't blame him in these conditions. Back again out towards the right hand side as Gateshead have possession now with Richardson. And Richardson in field for Gateshead, who lead by 1-0. And then a left-footed square pass from Francis for Gateshead, who come forward halfway inside their own half. Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 1. Remember that draw that Eastleigh did get in their first ever league game in 2014? It resulted in Eastleigh having 7 points from 3 games back then. And Eastleigh went to Gateshead for the first time later in the season and won 3-2. I remember James Constable scoring a couple of goals then. McAllister on the score sheet as well. And Rankin and Shaw scoring for the home side, but it wasn't enough, and they missed out on the playoffs that season. And it was the year after they lost in the playoff final, Gateshead as well, to try and win promotion back, or the playoff semi-finals I should say, when they beat Grimsby. When they won the playoff semi-finals, then ended up losing to Cambridge in the final. They've got possession on the edge of the penalty area, and they go left in line with the penalty area, and that's forward down the right. Eastleigh's right. Now Eastleigh have it halfway inside Gateshead's half. Maguire goes for the cross. Better. Nearly. I thought it was going to find McCallum. It didn't. It's headed clear. And now Gateshead have it. Square ball towards Ollie, the goal scorer, who finds Hunter. And Hunter's got Ollie in support. Does well. Brought down well. And Ollie has it on halfway, and now they've got space, lots of space. Wern drives forward 20 yards up the field. He goes to the left of the D. He thinks about shooting. Taylor does well to win the challenge. Still Gateshead have it here, and Hunter has it for Gateshead, looking for options. Comes back again to Ollie, out wide to Hunter. Diagonal pass back to Francis. Francis goes short to Booty, to Wern. Goes for the intelligent little pass. It was the right idea towards Denanga, but it's too far for him. A right-footed pass, and McDonald dives down on the ball, and it stays Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 1. A goal from Ollie, the attacking midfielder. That's his 22nd goal for Gateshead in the league since joining 5 years ago. McCallum flicked on brilliantly. Now quickly, left to the 6-yard box, looks for the shot. Is he fouled in the box? The referee thinks about it, he hasn't given it. Well, he wanted something, the referee says no. Quigley went to the floor, nothing given. Big opportunity that one though, flicked on well from McCallum from the edge of the penalty area. Not given right in front of the Eastleigh supporters to our left hand side from where we're sat at the top of the main stand. Long to Ollie, and it's headed back from Baldwin. It always looks safe, but you never know as it just slowly goes back to McDonnell. Unfortunately for Eastleigh, it didn't nestle its way into the back of the net. Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 1. BBC Radio Solent commentary. It's also an equaliser for Carlisle at Stevenage. It's 1-1 there. Elsewhere in League 2, Swindon are 3-0 up against Sutton at home. Salford 1, Walsall 0. Maguire with his back to goal finds Rutherford down the right. He's 10 yards away from the right hand corner penalty area. One side step, two side steps, drills it straight at the goalkeeper. More encouraging though for Eastleigh. In the National League elsewhere, Bromley are 1-0 up at home to Maidenhead. Woking 0, Solihull Moors 1, and York have a 1-0 lead at home to Boreham Wood. Gateshead in possession. Also got live commentary online of the Southern Vipers as well, and the Rachel Hayo Flint Trophy we have had. Forward it comes now towards Denanga. Denanga could be in here, he could make it 2. He rounds the goalkeeper, he does make it 2. And things are getting worse for Eastleigh. Denanga's got his 5th of the season. It was a great through ball. He got in behind the defence. He rounded McDonnell. He put it in the back of the net. It's Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 2.
Ladies and gents, that brings us to the water break.
Denanga, just as we get to the water break as well, and that's something, the last thing Eastleigh wanted, just as they're about to go for that water break to concede. Again, 2-0 to Gateshead. Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 2. So elsewhere in the National League South, in our non-league commentary game on Dorset Frequencies Online and the smart speaker, it's currently Hampden Waterlooville 0, Truro 1. That's where we've got live updates with Tom Murray. Dover 0, Weymouth 1. The away side taking the lead there. In the Southern Premier League, it's still Didcot 1, Winchester 0. Gosport Borough are 2-0 up now at home to Hungerford. And then Dorchester, where Jordan Clark is presenting from today and providing updates for us this afternoon. That's currently still Dorchester 0, Swindon Supermarine 1, and it's AFC Tottenham 0, Hendon 0. Those are scores elsewhere in the Southern Premier League. Number of games taking place in the league below as well. We'll bring you some scores from there in a second on this non-league special today with Bournemouth, Southampton and Portsmouth not in action. Hamworthy United lead by 1-0 as well at home to Melksham Town in Division 1 South. But what a terrible time for Eastleigh to concede. I mean, credit to Gateshead, who were playing, to be fair, just as well as they played last season when they came here. A professional performance from them, and it's going to be a long old chat here for interim boss Richard Hill with his players. 2 goals the away side already. Wimborne are in action as well away from home in the FA Trophy against Exmouth, and they lead by 1-0. So a number of games taking place in the FA Trophy today. But we're going to have about 2 or 3 minutes stoppage here, and I should say the Hamworthy game is in the FA Trophy, not Division 1 South. But Marcus Denanga has doubled the visitors' lead on 26 minutes, and we go into minute 29. So he scored the second, a well taken finish from Greg Ollie with the first, and he sees problems worsening here. Slow start to the season, he said. They picked a big boost beating Aldershot a few games ago, and then building on it with a draw at Dorking Wanderers. That was a game that really could have gone either way, but right now it's all to do, and maybe this water break will help Eastleigh because it's been all Gateshead, and you can tell up to that point that Gateshead have been the the better side at 0-0. You felt like that goal was coming. They had their opportunities. They hit the post. They had another couple of efforts before that. Eastleigh, I'm still waiting to see any real clear-cut chances. You saw Quigley had that, went down in the penalty area. They've had a couple of corners as well, but when it comes to the football being played, it's not going to plan at all. As I say, BBC Sport website and app in the cricket. Southern Vipers against Thunder. Thunder need 144 runs to win from 25 overs with 4 wickets remaining. They're 94 for 6. Vipers earlier on 237 all out in the Rachel Hayhoe Flint Trophy. Commentary on the BBC Sport website and app. In the meantime, we've still not got this match back underway here. We go back to the centre circle where Eastleigh are going to kick off again, having conceded a couple of minutes ago. And now let's see how they can respond. Well, they responded well against Barnet. Now up to Quigley. Can they respond here? Right at the box, right at the 6-yard box, in towards McCann. That's too close again towards Archie Mayer, who picks that ball up pretty easily. And to be fair, you can see why Gateshead score so many goals. That's 16 goals for them in nearly 7.5 games for them so far this season. They're into the centre circle. And they have possession now. Kidderminster 1, Rochdale 0. Elsewhere in the National League, Oxford City have gone behind at home to Hartlepool. Hartlepool are 1-0 up. As Gateshead have it left of the centre circle. And then Booty with a diagonal pass out to the left, halfway inside the EC half. Infield now towards Wern. Wern left of the penalty area. It opens up again for Gateshead. It nearly found Ollie. Ollie has it back towards Wern again. Wern goes for the cross. He goes for the chip. It's off the post. And it so nearly could have been 3, and I thought that was going in. Well, Wern, I thought he was crossing in at first, but he knew exactly what he was doing. He went for the chip, left-hand corner of the box. It hit the post, and then I thought it was going to come off the inside of the post into the back of the net. It just went right across the face of goal, as McDonald could only watch. And luckily for Eastleigh, it didn't end up in the back of the net. Very nearly 3. And it probably should have been 3. Here is Wern, who goes to the left of the centre circle, inside towards Denango, or outside to the left, and well won from Rendell, who won the challenge, and it's a throw for Gateshead down the left in line with the easy penalty area. Two sides meeting now, though. I know Eastleigh are now the second longest serving side in the league behind Aldershot. Two teams who have moved their way up the leagues, though. I know Gateshead once in the Football League, but 3 promotions for them between 2003 and 2009, which included a restructure of the Conference North, Conference South. And that was during a period when Eastleigh were on the climb as well. But they're in possession now, Gateshead, with Richardson. Taylor fouls his man. Referee plays on, does he? No, he gives the free kick for a foul from Taylor, and the referee's going to get his book out, and it's going to be a yellow card for Jake Taylor, and it stays Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 2 with 12 minutes left in the first half. Yellow card for him, so first yellow card of the game. All to do right now for Eastleigh, though. Gateshead have got that free kick. It's on halfway. Oxford City have equalised at home to Hartlepool in the National League. That's now 1-1. Into the centre circle it comes. Gateshead still in possession. Here's Francis. Francis to Wern, who's halfway inside the Eastleigh half. Is a handball off Rendell. But the free kick for Gateshead. Left to centre. So free kick to the away side. AFC Wimbledon 1, Stockport 0 in League 2. Accrington 0, Mansfield 1. Free kick for the Heed, who've got it now, who are about 25 yards outside the box, and they go square this time. Back out, halfway inside the half, crossed in, Langston heads it away. It falls nicely to Hunter though for Gateshead, goes for the cross, comes off the back of Baldwin, and Baldwin bursts outside the box and halfway inside the Eastleigh half towards McCallum, who was looking to stay onside. He wasn't onside, he was offside, and it's a free kick for Gateshead. Gateshead's right, 25 yards inside their own half. So as I say, 3-0 they were down against Barnet. They scored just before half-time, which gave them some hope, and then he went and scored 2 more, Eastleigh, to make it 3-3. They've got to produce some sort of comeback here today as well. But Gateshead are playing some good football. Wern in between 2 players with his back to goal, 25 yards inside his own half. Or inside the Eastleigh half. Rutherford has it on a right back position, but he passes it to Grayson, and out for another throw for Eastleigh. Eastleigh's right. Off Hannant, I should say. And here is Francis for Gateshead, who's 25 yards inside the Eastleigh half. Played it 10 yards forward. Out to Hannant for Gateshead, who's in line with Eastleigh box. Back again towards Booty. Booty has it 10 yards outside the penalty area. And Gateshead just content to keep possession at the moment. It goes infield to Francis. Francis is 25 yards inside the Eastleigh territory. Wern leaves it, and Langston drives forward and does the well to win the ball back. That goes square to Carter. Carter down the left wing. Carter's in line with the penalty area, and the challenge as he came down the left side of midfield from Richardson comes back out for a throw for Eastleigh on this left hand side, which Baldwin will take. Baldwin back to Rabuki for Eastleigh. Switches from left to right, and that goes out to Rutherford. Eastleigh trail by 2-0 here against Gateshead in the National League. A deserved Gateshead lead so far, and the through ball down that right hand side is just going to be left out of play off a Gateshead foot, and out for a corner kick for Eastleigh. Eastleigh's right. Gateshead, who won the National League North in 2023 with 94 points from 42 games, 29 wins as well, 7 points more than Brackley that season. And Eastleigh last season improving on the season before, but missing out on the playoffs. And they've got a corner here to try and get themselves back into this game. There's 2 outside the penalty area and 5 inside the box, 4 inside the 6-yard box even. Right-footed cross aimed up towards Langston. It comes off the top of his head, and that was always not going to be able to. Well, it wasn't really a chance, really. It was a ball into an area, and it came off the top of Langston's head and out, over the bar, and out of play for a goal kick. 2-0 to Gateshead. Eastleigh have it all to do here. On a hot day. I can't actually remember it ever being this hot at the Silver Lake Stadium. Tough conditions out there, but it's the away side who are dealing with it best so far. And they have the ball outside the box. It's forward towards Ollie, back towards Wern, who's halfway inside the Eastleigh half. They did concede 2 goals though last week. Gateshead, that was against Oldham, and they haven't been that good defensively this season, as well as they'd have liked. Eastleigh will look to maybe use that to some advantage. They can get 1 goal, maybe push them back further, but at the moment there's only one side in this game. Out to the left hand side, and Gateshead have a throw, and they have it on halfway, far side. And now Gateshead in possession into the centre. Here is Robbie Tinkler. Again, they're just in no hurry at the moment to play this ball forward. Into the centre it comes, and then it goes out to the left of the centre circle. Through ball is too far for everybody, too far for Wern, and it goes out for a goal kick for Eastleigh. McDonald's going to leave it. Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 2. It's been tough for Eastleigh this one today, that's for sure. Tough opposition. McDonald to take the goal kick to our right hand side, and it's long past the halfway line up towards McCallum, who heads on to Quigley. Is Quigley going to get in there? Cleared from Gateshead. There's been another goal at Wesley Park. Havant and Waterlooville weren't doing well at all earlier. Are they doing better, or has it got even worse for them? Let's find out. Tom Murray.
I'm afraid, Waldo, it's got even worse for Havant. They now trail by 2-0. It was a fantastic finish as well. A long ball was played forward. It was headed on by Porter. It went over the head of Joe McNerney in the heart of the Hawks' defence, and it went through to Andrew Neil, who had the whole penalty area, to hit a wonderful left-footed volley into the back of the net. Havant had responded quite well to going a goal down, but it's them that trail by 2-0.
Thanks very much indeed, Tom. They have it all to do. Eastleigh have it all to do here. Weymouth going well so far, though. They won it up away at Dover, the ground when they pulled off the Great Escape last season. As Gateshead chip it up to the edge of the penalty area, Langston heads away for Eastleigh to halfway. McCallum back to Taylor, straight to a Gateshead head, and then it's back towards Wern, who comes to Booty to the halfway line, and now Gateshead have it with Richardson to the centre circle. Here's Francis from halfway. He goes 10 yards up the field. That's short to Ndananga. And then here's Wern up to the left of the D. Oh, he's in acres of space here. He should score. He does score, and he will never score an easier goal. Hunter has given Gateshead a 3-0 lead at the Silver Lake with 5 to half time. And how on earth did he have all that space? Well, he was in acres of space in the box, and you could tell from a mile off. No one was picking him up, and he had all the time in the world to slot it underneath Joe McDonnell to make it 3-0 to Gateshead. And now, where do Eastleigh go from here? They've done it once before. They've come from 3-0 down against Barnet, as we said earlier. They're going to have to do it again. The away side are 3-0 up. BBC Radio Solent commentary. We've had goals here, but 3 have all come to the away. All come to the away side as Eastleigh get us back underway towards the defender Rendell, who goes long. McCallum heads it behind Carter. Incredible amount of space he had there to pull the trigger. And Hunter's made it 3 after Denanga had made it 2 and Ollie had made it 1. It's 3-0 to Gateshead. Taylor edge of the box for Eastleigh, back to Rendell, over Quigley's head now. It's Gateshead in possession. Here's Francis, and they were let off Eastleigh a few minutes ago as well when Gateshead had that opportunity. I think only at the post at one point to try and make it 3, but they're 3-0 up now. And they look very much in control. They're like a promotion team, contending team, the way they're playing today. We also said that again about Barnet a few weeks ago as well, who came to the Silver Lake. Three well taken goals. Not sure there's much that McDonnell could really do about any of them in truth. Here on BBC Radio Solent and the National League stream. Oxford City 1, Hartlepool 2 now. Hartlepool regain the lead. Late challenge on the right hand side from Rendell, who's going to go into the book now for that tackle. So a yellow card for him, and Gateshead have a free kick down their left hand side. And they lead by 3-0. Lots of reaction in all of our non-league results or score updates and cricket updates to come with Jordan Clark, who's at the Avenue at half-time into this game. Text 81333, Solent your first word. WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Again, make Solent your first word. Or tweet us at Solent Sport. Saints Pompey Cherries back in action next weekend. Now it's going to be back in field towards Francis. Francis out to the left, inside of the foot, cross it. But goes over the crossbar. Starting off next weekend, our live coverage next Friday night. Live commentary with Adam Blackmore and Joe Tesson, with Southampton in action at home to Leicester. All our build-up next Friday night from 6 o'clock. And continues with the Cherries and Pompey throughout the weekend after that. Goal kick is also FA Cup action next weekend, and the pick of the bunch is Wimborne. We're going to be at that one next weekend. They're home to Torquay. The big game next weekend as well for Stoneham, who go to Yeovil. But on it comes up towards Quigley, and that's going to be too far and out of play for a goal kick. With just under 90 seconds of normal time to come in the first half, but everything that could have gone right for Gateshead has gone right, everything that could have gone wrong for Eastleigh has gone wrong. 3 different goal scorers. McCallum makes it difficult for the goalkeeper, but he manages to get forward towards Wern, and it comes back up towards Denanga, who's on the chase. He's going to try and beat Langston, but that should be Langston's it is. His first touch was a bit heavy, and he's forced out to the right hand side for Eastleigh, right back position. That's cleared, but straight to a Gateshead player. They have it halfway inside the Eastleigh half, and they come forward here towards Ollie. Ollie inside of the foot. Square, another chance for Gateshead. Hunter 5 yards outside the box. Francis for Gateshead, halfway inside Eastleigh's half. Booty, played short. Shot, again lots of space to shoot, but a left footer from Wern goes over the bar and out of play for a goal kick as we approach stoppage time imminently. It's Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 3. Still waiting for a real Eastleigh chance here today. All the chances for the away side.
The fourth official is indicating there will be a minimum of 6 additional.
So we're going to have 6 minutes still of added time though in the first half of that drinks break. So water break means it's 6 minutes of added time. Up to Carter. Fouls his man. Free kick for Gateshead in the right back position. So McCallum tries to win the ball back. It's all Gateshead here. They lead 3-0. And I don't think really Eastleigh the lack of what Eastleigh have created, I don't think Gateshead will be too concerned that they've seen 6 minutes on the board. Here's Booty. Here comes Wern, who bursts forward again. He goes 30-40 yards up the field in space, and he finds Denanga. 4-0. Denanga's got his second. It's turning into a rout. Denanga again in behind the defence. It was all too easy. It's not even half time. It's Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 4.
3 minutes.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well, I mean, credit to Gateshead, who've been absolutely superb today. But for Eastleigh, well, they've been so flat. And really, it's just been standing still for the defending, really. Gateshead have been so quick with the movement, getting in behind the defence, putting some good passes in, edge of the penalty area. And they did there. Again, it just didn't have to do anything that brilliant, really. It just came from the back. It was a fantastic run from Wern, but how much space? He had about 40 yards to run into. He did brilliantly to exploit it. And then the through ball in towards Denanga. And the finisher that he is, he's not going to miss from there. It's a really neat finish. Here's Wabuki. And then it's forward towards Hunt. And here's Wern for Gateshead. And Wern goes wide to the right hand side to Hunter, who comes back for Gateshead. Well, at 3-0, as we saw against Barnet earlier, and I'll keep mentioning that, but gives you a chance if you can score before half time. But to score fourth, I mean, that is game over. There's absolutely no doubt whatsoever. 4-0 to Gateshead, and they're in possession now, left to centre, halfway inside their own half. 2 for Denanga then, for the away team. Looking for their second away league win of the season, having gone to Dagenham Redbridge earlier on in the campaign and scoring 4 there as well, but winning 4-2. We're halfway through stoppage, and then in the end, that's 6 minutes of added time. I said Gateshead won't be worried. They certainly weren't worried, because they went down and scored. Here's Denanga, halfway inside Eastleigh half. Now off the head there of Hannon. Hannon with a pass, just scuffs the cross. Cleared. Straight for Wern for Gateshead, who plays it forward towards Ollie. Ollie comes back to Francis. One touch football for Gateshead. Good football to Francis. Francis to Ollie. Ollie back again to Francis. Left hand corner penalty. They're into the box. They're going to make it 5 here, but the ball is too far. And that's how to play for a goal kick. That's an 18th goal of the season in the league already for Gateshead.
18th goal of the season.
2 minutes of normal time to go here in the first half. Dover 0, Weymouth 2 in our Dorset commentary. Terror's going well there. Which is not what could be said for Eastleigh. Really flat performance for the Spitfires here today. Swindon 3, Sutton 2. Sutton scoring twice in quick succession in League 2. Wrexham are 1-0 up home to Doncaster as Baldwin crosses it in. A deep ball over Quigley's head and out of play for a goal kick. Forest Green are 1-0 up at home to Crewe in League 2. Elsewhere in the National League here, as well as here today, where it's Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 4. Barnet 1, Altrincham 0's the latest. Bromley 2, Maidenhead 0. Dagenham Redbridge under Ben Strevens looking for a 4th successive win. They're 1-0 up away at Chesterfield. Kidderminster 1, Rochdale 0. Oldham Dorking is goalless. Hartlepool 2-1 up at Oxford City. Wealdstone Ebbsfleet's goalless. Solihull Moors are 1-0 up at Woking. And York 1, Bournemouth 0. Gateshead just taking their time. We're into the final minute, the 6th and final minute of stoppage time here in the first half. Given away though, straight to Wabuki, to McCallum, who brings it down for Eastleigh. Left to centre, given away. Tried to find Baldwin, he couldn't find him, and then Gateshead are going to have it with Hunter. It's back to the goalkeeper, and that's cleared up towards the halfway line. Eastleigh have it, those blue shirts, but Gateshead are making sure they've got nowhere to go at the moment, and Baldwin straight to Ollie, and now it's picked up from Booty, who's halfway inside Eastleigh's half, on the run here, and they tried to feed it through here towards Wern, who tried to get the shot away. Good defending from Rutherford to stop it becoming 5, and that, as it comes back to McDonnell in the Eastleigh goal, probably should be it as far as the first half is concerned. And it was a game to forget last season. The last time Eastleigh lost here at the Silver Lake 5-2, and it has been a first half to forget for Eastleigh, but one that Gateshead will be absolutely delighted with Mike Williamson's side. The football they've been playing has been sublime. Here's Rutherford. Look at the watch from the referee. Rutherford has got options in front of him, including Quigley. The flag goes up, and there we have it. Boos ring out the Silver Lake Stadium at half time for the first time in quite some time, but 4 goals. Gateshead have run absolutely riot here. Did not see this. I think when it comes to performance wise, 4 goals for Gateshead.
You go for the penalty shootout.
And as for Eastleigh, they've got it all to do in the second half, but again, it's game over now already. But now the question is, can they at least come out fighting second half? And the old cliche, but try and win the second half. 4 goals. Gateshead have absolutely torn Eastleigh apart here. And lots of different goal scorers. 3 different goal scorers, and Denanga's scored twice, which is exactly what he did last season for Gateshead in that 5-2 win. He caused some real problems then,
We're back in action here on Tuesday night.
and he's caused problems here. I mean, he wasn't on the score sheet last season, but he was causing a lot of problems. And now for Eastleigh, it is just a case of pride second half. A 0-0 draw. They kept a clean sheet last week. They've already clipped a few clean sheets already. 2 of them have been 0-0 draws, but they've conceded 4 here already. And Eastleigh will just wish the full-time whistle was here, in all truth. A big second half to come, just to see if they can put in a performance. Half time at the Silver Lake is Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 4. Thanks very much indeed, Jordan. So first half, which was Gateshead in and around the box, absolutely first class. But Eastleigh 4-0 down, and they've made a double substitution, Eastleigh, at half time. Charlie Carter's been substituted, and so too has Wabuki. On has come Clampin at left back, with Baldwin moving further forward, and Nigel Attengana has come on as well. So as we sit, Eastleigh in there all blue against Gateshead white shirts, black trim, black shorts and black socks. Eastleigh left to right as we sit towards the blue and white seated Nuffield Houth community stand, which, if you're watching on the stream, is the opposite to where you're watching it. And as for Gateshead, they are unchanged in the second half. Diananga scoring twice, Diananga getting on the score sheet with 2 excellent finishes, Ollie on the score sheet as well, and Hunter with a pretty easy finish. We had so much space and he did the rest. Second half commentary, BBC Radio Solent, Hampshire frequencies, online and smart speaker. Just nearly 2 minutes gone in the second half, and here's Maguire, who goes to the left hand side. That ball is too far for the bleach blonde haired Clampin, and it's out for a throw for Gateshead. Gateshead's right, halfway inside their own half. So EC have McDonnell in goal, Rutherford, Rendell, Langston and Clampin at the back second half, with Baldwin and Maguire out wide, Taylor and Atangana in the middle, and McCallum and Quigley up front. 3 unused substitutes: goalkeeper Tommy Scott, Ludwig Francelet and Aidan Barlow. Throw for Gate, which always feels like a Coronation Street character, I think, Aidan Barlow, but Gateshead have it back down the right hand side, right by the corner flag, and Gateshead are in possession as they come forward in space from that right back position. And they've got Mayer in goal, Hunter, Grayson, Richardson, Tinkler at the back, Francis and Booty in the middle, and Wern, Ollie and Hannant off Diananga. And here is Diananga as they make the run here into the penalty area. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, just goes wide for Gateshead, past the far post. Hannant's finish, should have finished it, he didn't. It's wide, goal kick. Well, again, he got in behind the defence. The EC defence just stood still, and he was just allowed to get in. And it's only because it was a disappointing finish in the end that it's not 5 in the early stages of the second half. Goal kick for Eastleigh instead. Gateshead, who finished in the bottom half of the table last season, but finished more towards the middle after struggling in the first half of the campaign. And now they're in possession on the left hand side with Grayson. Grayson to halfway, goes from left to right to Ollie. Ollie on the right of midfield. Ollie, who got Gateshead going with the first goal, and it came a couple of minutes after they hit the post actually. And you would say that we've probably seen 9 or 10 chances today, and all have come for Gateshead. It has been that dominant. EC yet to create a single real opportunity. From the halfway line, through ball, but the ball is too far that time. Grayson's pass. Wern was on the chase, and it is a goal kick instead. Well, so far from those 3 games away for Gateshead, it reads 1-4-2 at Dagenham and Redbridge, lost 2-1 at Hartlepool, and drew 0-0 at Halifax. They lead 4-0 here. EC have drawn at home to Wealdstone 0-0. They've drawn at home to Barnet 3-3, and they've beaten Aldershot. But they're heading for their first home defeat of the season, and in some way as well. Headed on to Quigley. Quigley for Eastleigh. He's into the box. Sliding pass back. Here's Taylor for Eastleigh. Wern shrugs him off the ball, and Wern is fouled, and Gateshead have a free kick halfway inside their own half. 4-0 to the away side. Seven home wins then for Eastleigh so far this year. Starting with Dorking Wanderers all the way back in New Year's Day. They've got maximum points from against Woking, Maidenhead, Oldham, York, Altrincham and Aldershot. But last season, certainly the first 6-7 months, Eastleigh just kept winning at home. They made it a fortress. They need to get anything but that at the moment. After just that sort of one home win since Altrincham in March, and now Gateshead have it on that right hand side, infield to Ollie. Gateshead are going to cut inside. They're 5 yards away from the right hand corner penalty area, only as far as Clampin, and Clampin is fouled this time from Gateshead in a right midfield position. Richardson brings him down, and he's going to go into the book. Yellow card there for Kenton Richardson. So a solid game at the back. The defender started at Hartlepool. Kenton Richardson, ex-Sunderland defender. But to be honest, EC haven't really tested the defence enough anyway. Here's Rutherford for the Spitfires to the halfway line. into the centre. Here's Baldwin. How can he get Eastleigh moving here? 6 gone in the second half. Baldwin is 10 yards away from the box. Left-hand corner penalty area. Left to Clampin. Better from Eastleigh. Clampin goes for the cross. It comes off a Gateshead head. And it's going to slowly go out for a corner kick for Eastleigh. And there's going to be a yellow card there for kicking the ball away. Francis goes into the book for Gateshead. Corner kick. Can Eastleigh get a goal here? They've got 2 in the 6-yard box. Could be an interesting post-match interview, this one. You'll be able to hear reaction after between 5 and 6. Now, it's a corner kick on the far side. And then it's going to be Maguire to take. It's in towards the near post. It's headed away. Comes back to Garner. Garner goes left. Eastleigh are going to go with a deep ball into the box. It's punched away from Mayer. Headed back into an area from Taylor. And then it's cleared from Grayson. Garner forward for the Spitfires. Yeah, reaction from interim boss Richard Hill to come after this game. Main part of our programme between now and 6 o'clock. Could be worth tuning in for that one, as Gateshead have it halfway inside their own half, from the right hand side into the centre. Booty from right to left. Here come Gateshead, who come forward down the left hand side. Here's Wern, 10 yards inside the Eastleigh half, goes for the 1-2 from Denanga. And then Rutherford has it back for Eastleigh. He comes to halfway, out wide, better from Eastleigh. Quickly, lots of space down the right wing. McCallum's there as an option, goes for the cross, and it's a poor cross. McCallum wanted it in the penalty area. It wasn't going to find McCallum. It was going to go well past the far post, away from the goal, and out for a goal kick. Thought that was going to be an opportunity then for Eastleigh to create their first real chance. Not to be. Goal kick. Gateshead again well in control. Again, they got it in behind the defence inside the first 2 minutes of the second half, which went wide past the post. That was a lucky escape. They didn't make it 5 for Eastleigh. But either way, Gateshead don't have to do anything really, particularly second half at all. They go past halfway. They go in field. Here's Ollie for Gateshead, who goes into the centre, 10 yards inside the Eastleigh half. And now here's Wern for Gateshead, 15 yards away from this near side. Forward to Ollie. Ollie plays it square, and then he found Dianga. And then it's away from Langston. And another throw. Throw to Gateshead on their left-hand side. Dover down to 10 men as well at home to Weymouth. Weymouth leading by 2-0. AFC Tottenham 1, Hendon 1 in the Southern Premier League. We've got a fair few FA Trophy fixtures to tell you about as well. Tottenham took the lead on 50 minutes. Hendon bringing them back 3 minutes later. Gateshead with the throw. Back out to Wern. Wern with a pass, tries to find it at the edge of the 6-yard box, but Rendell clears for Eastleigh to Garner, who does trickery outside the box and does well to find Rutherford in space, who puts the 6'4" quickly in halfway inside the Eastleigh half, and now they burst forward. Gives the fans something to cheer here. Maguire. Oh, it doesn't, as Maguire runs into trouble. And now Gateshead are in possession. Left to Grayson. Grayson to Hannans. If you want to get in touch this afternoon, whoever it is you support, we'd love to hear from you. Keep me company throughout the afternoon. You can tweet at Solent Sport. Tweet us at Solent Sport. Hannans is pushed. Gateshead win the free kick. And at the moment, it's pretty much a case of Gateshead just quite happy just to keep it as it is. So not much to tell you about second half, in truth. Eastleigh have come forward a couple of times in the final third, and when you thought they might be able to create something, Maguire ran into trouble, and Quigley's ball was wasted from the right hand side and out for a goal kick. Gateshead don't have to do anything silly at the moment. They were absolutely superb first half. Here's Booty to Denanga, who has So sharp up front for them as well, Denanga. And that goes from centre out left to Grayson. Grayson comes forward for the away side. Grayson finds Booty. Booty halfway inside the Eastleigh half. That comes forward to Ollie. And Clampin's there in a left back position to clear. Straight to a Gateshead foot. And Gateshead will look to enjoy some possession here. To Ed Francis. Midfielder who was once on the books of Manchester City, Ed Francis. Part of the Wolves youth team as well. To be solid there in that midfield today. Joe Grayson comes forward. He spent the first half of last season at Dundee, north of the border. Denanga to Ollie. Nigel Attengana, the former Havant and Waterloo and Chelmsford man, tries to win it off him, but here comes Grayson for Gateshead. That goes left in space. They've got it now with Hannant. Hannant in field to Wern, and Wern curls it, and that goes into those thatched houses behind the goal, back in towards the hanger, and out for a goal kick. Let's get an update. Havant and Waterlooville against Truro City, National League South. Tom Murray.
Thanks, Waldo. Well, it's still 2-0 to the visitors at the moment, but Havant have come out in the second half and started to pepper some shots at Partington's goal, but they just can't find the breakthrough at the moment. And Fowl had a shot from about 25 yards. He wriggled in from the left. He's actually got the ball in the box at the moment. McCarthy left at the penalty spot, just over the bar. They just really can't find that final finish at the moment. They had a really good chance very early on in the second half when Kai Innocent crossed from the left and Callum Keeley got ahead of his man at the front post and somehow headed it wide. But Havant starting to turn the screw, and you just feel if they do get a goal that there is something to take from the game, but they still trail by 2-0.
Thanks, Tom. So here is Aidan Barlow himself coming on. Straight off the cobbles, and on he comes, and off is going to come Maguire, who walks over towards this near side. So Maguire's come off. Still have an opportunity to get themselves back into the game, although it's not looking good for them. EC have got no chance. McCallum heads it on. Here with Gateshead in possession, edge of the box to Hannant. And then that goes out wide to the right hand side. Tinkler's changed his shirt, which is number 50 now, which has got quite confusing. Gateshead are in possession. The second half, which I think we'll probably see more and more, Gateshead just looking to keep possession, not doing anything major with it, which they won't have to, and making Eastleigh chase it in this hot conditions, with Gateshead now not really in a rush to do anything particular, which you wouldn't really when you're 4-0 up in these conditions. Here on BBC Radio Solent, Bromley 4, Maidenhead 1 as well as the score in the National League, so they're having a good day. Elsewhere, Woking 1, Solihull Moors 1 now, an equaliser in the National League. National League South, as well as that Havant and Waterlooville, as we were saying a second ago, with Tom Murray being 2-0 down in that game at Wesley Park. Still Dover 0, Weymouth 2. On ball now though, up towards Hannant for Gateshead, who's going to drill it left-footed into the arms of McDonald, who dives to his right, but another chance. Dives to his left, I should say. The deep ball into the box, brought it down, looked to feed it underneath him as Gosport have gone 3-0 up home to Hungerford, and they extend their lead, and they're 3-0 up in the Southern Premier Division. We're on air till 6 o'clock, BBC Radio Solent Sport. And now Eastleigh down the left hand side to Clampin. Hello to Mickey the Heed fan, good to hear from you. He said if you didn't expect this scoreline, imagine us Heed fans what we would say. He said even though we've scored so many so far, someone was going to get thumped sooner or later, and it's happened to Eastleigh today, and it felt, looking at the stats and the way that they played against Oldham last week, that it was going to happen at some point. It's happened to Eastleigh today as Francis comes forward. Francis edge of the box, diagonal pass up towards Denanga and back to the goalkeeper. Back to McDonald. So as a spectacle, it's been a slow second half, as you would expect, with 3 points heading to Gateshead. BBC Radio Solent commentary. Here's Taylor. Taylor back out to the right hand corner of the box, and then Rendell, who only arrived 8 days ago on loan from Queen's Park Rangers, out to Clampin, who also spent that time north of the border last season, having arrived from Colchester though in the summer permanently. Infield to Barlow. Barlow square to Taylor. Taylor's got space from halfway. It's a bit better from Eastleigh's second half though. They go left. Here's Baldwin. Baldwin's got space to run into. Baldwin's into the box. Baldwin might shoot. Comes back to Barlow. And it's off the knee of the Gateshead man. It's off Grayson. Out left, Clamping with a cross. Over Quigley's head. But Gateshead are just going to win it back with Hannon. And we are probably in about a few minutes away from another water break here at the Silver Lake Stadium. Still just that one Eastleigh win this season. It's going to be after today. Dorking Wanderers to draw last week, and it's AFC Fylde away, all the way up in near Blackpool next week for Eastleigh. Next Saturday. Goal at Dorchester though against Swindon Supermarine. Let's find out who's got it. Jordan Clark.
It's the leveller for Dorchester. Wilder, a much better second half performance so far from Glenn House's side, and Leighton Thomas has just smashed one past Louis Evans in goal for Swindon Supermarine to level things up. And even better than the goal was the backflip celebration to go with it. It's Dorchester 1, Swindon Supermarine 1.
Thanks, Jordan. Luar there being balled out of the avenue as Gateshead come forward down the left, and there's a man on the floor as Ollie tried to play it forward, and Hannon's on the floor. And it's going to be a yellow card for Oscar Rutherford, who goes into the book for Eastleigh. Well, we haven't seen any backflips from any Eastleigh players here today. I don't think we'll see any if they do score, in truth. But either way, Gateshead in front of their own supporters, they've been celebrating in front of, because all 4 goals are in front of them. All in the first half, 18 gone in the second. And it's a funny one really with Eastleigh, because they failed to score in 4 of their 7 games, but in 2 of those 7 they've scored 3 goals. Once against Barnet, once against Aldershot after the goalkeeper was sent off, and then that first game of the season when they scored at Solihull Moors but gave away the lead in the 90th minute. Foul from Baldwin there on Denanga, and now the yellow cards. It took a while to see the first. They're flying in now, and they're coming in thick and fast. And now it's a yellow card for Enzio Baldwin. And they are short now of where they were last season. Eastleigh, who had 11 points in their first 7 games last season, or 10 points in their first 7 I should say, 11 from 8. They are heading from 7 points from 8 games here to start the campaign, in a match which has, as you would expect, slowed down considerably in the second half. Francis to take the free kick for Gateshead. Keep those tweets coming in. Tweet at Solent Sports. Read out your messages throughout the afternoon. Now here's Barlow, who's looked okay since he's come on, to be fair. Barlow runs at the defence. Barlow comes out to the left hand corner of the box. Challenge comes into Atton Garner.
Man of the match.
Back to Taylor. Taylor to Atton Garner. And Eastleigh in possession now as Atton Garner goes diagonally to Enzio Baldwin. Back to Taylor. And they're just forced backwards now, Eastleigh, and Langston all the way back to McDonnell in the Eastleigh goal. 4-0. Swindon are 4-2 up at home to Sutton now in League 2. Wrexham 1, Doncaster 1. Equaliser there. McCallum's chest comes off his chest, but Gateshead clear. Salford 1, Walsall 1. MK Dons 1, Notts County 1 now. And Crewe are 2-1 up at Forest Green in League 2, while Crawley lead Newport 2-1. And Stockport are 2-1 up at AFC Wimbledon under Dave Challoner. Accrington 0, Mansfield 2. As Swindon have gone 4-2 up. In League 1 it's still Exeter 1, Leyton Orient 1, and Stevenage 1, Carlisle 1. Crawley 2, Newport 1 as well in League 2 is another score. As they come forward here up to the edge of the penalty area, Gateshead. And here's Wern, it's 5-0 to Gateshead. Slotted it underneath McDonnell, the through ball to him. Wern finishes. He's played well today and probably deserves that second half goal. But as for Eastleigh, it's getting worse. It's Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 5. And it was happening during that really quiet period, really. I say Gateshead haven't really had to do anything second half. They've slowed things down, and then they do get that opportunity on the edge of the box, and Wern slides it underneath McDonnell to make it 5-0 to Gateshead. Rutledge is coming on for Gateshead as well. Well. I think Denanga's going to come off. And he's worked himself into the ground. And Aidan Rutledge, the forward, the Gateshead born forward, he certainly knows where the back of the net is as well. Standout season for Birtley Town last season, 61 goals in 43 games for them. He comes on. 5-0 to Gateshead. Elsewhere in the National League, there's been a goal for Aldershot. They're 1-0 up away at AFC Fylde. Wealdstone have taken the lead at home to Ebbsfleet, 1-0. 2 goals in quick succession at Oxford City. Oxford City 3, Hartlepool 2. Elsewhere in the National League. National League South, Havant and Waterloo, they'll still trail 2-0. Weymouth are still 2-0 up away at Dover. Dover and Weymouth both now down to 10 men. Weymouth have had a man sent off as well. Commentary of that one on all Dorset frequencies. Our show's coming from the Avenue, where it's 1-1 between Dorchester and Swindon Supermarine in the Southern Premier League, as Quigley brings it down into the centre circle. 5-0 Eastleigh trail. 1 back from McCallum. Square to Quigley. Quigley's fouled. Referee plays advantage. Out wide to the right, halfway inside the Gateshead half. Here's Rutherford. Rutherford has it. Poole Town was half an hour late kicking off, so they're not half time in that one, but it's currently Hayes and Yedding 2, Poole Town 1. Matt Tubbs' first match in charge of Poole, with Tom Killick being sacked this week after nearly 20 years in charge. Regan Booty goes into the book for a foul, yellow card, and Eastleigh got a free kick halfway inside the Gateshead half, 10 yards from this near right hand side. Gosport are 4-0 up now at home to Hungerford, and Winchester still trail 1-0 at Didcot. It's still AFC Tottenham 1, Hendon 1. Up to date on BBC Radio Solent. Here's Barlow for Eastleigh. Eastleigh with a curling ball in with the right foot, and away from Tinkler, and out for a throw for Eastleigh. Eastleigh's right, 10 yards from the corner flag. Eastleigh's right. A 5th goal for Gateshead. They were 4-0 up at half time. Make that 19 goals for Gateshead so far this season. Just a reminder again, as I say, reaction interim manager Richard Hill to come after the game between now and 6 o'clock. Rutherford flicked on from Barlow. Quigley, his touch is heavy, takes it up to the edge of the penalty area. Here come Gateshead again to halfway. Rutledge, a substitute, brings it down well. And now Gateshead might want more here, because they come past halfway. They slow it down a bit though to Hunter, and that goes a little bit further back. And we have a sports show every night now, 1 hour sports specials every night. We'll talk about that in a second, but Gateshead come to the right hand corner penalty area, and the shot goes over the bar. Including from Monday nights, we've got the women's sports show with Fern Buckley. Tuesday night with Jordan Clark. Out for a goal kick. Tom Deacon has your Wednesday night sports show for an hour, and then you've got the fan panel with Alan Blackmore back next Thursday, and the sports hour next Friday. That's how it looks next week on BBC Radio Solent, but right now here on BBC Radio Solent Sport, we're going to have a drinks break. Not before time. I think Eastleigh will not particularly want a drinks break, they'll just want to get off the pitch full stop. 20 minutes of normal time remains, and it is Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 5 here on BBC Radio Solent. And it is a second half which we've seen again with probably 3 or 4 Gateshead chances, and it has been slow tempoed. But again, that is just more to do with the fact that Gateshead haven't really had to do anything in this heat. They've still been the better side though second half when they have had the ball, and they were absolutely tore Eastleigh apart in the first. And then again, the 5th goal was simple as well. They just had to play it short to the edge of the box, and then it was a lovely finish in the end from Wern, who put it into the bottom corner. But even so, it's been a tale of two halves, isn't it? I mean, as poor as Eastleigh have been, it's they've also caught Gateshead at a very, very good time from a Gateshead perspective, because they have been absolutely brilliant today. On for Gateshead then is going to come Billy Chadwick. In fact, 2 players are coming on, Conor McBride as well.
Substitution for Gateshead.
Off is going to go Joe Grayson.
Joe Grayson, being replaced by 21, Conor McBride.
Conor McBride is coming on, who started last week, the Scotsman. And he joined after 2 goals on trial against Harrogate, was one of those goals. And he's going to come onto the pitch. I'll find out who the other person is who's going to come off. I think it might be Wern. It is the goal scorer of the 5th goal, and it's been a 3rd goal at the Avenue. Southern Premier League, Dorchester Swindon Supermarine. Jordan Clark.
Dorchester have turned this game around, Waldo, and it's all because of Shaquille Wengwe. A brilliant run from him into the box. He got brought down, won the penalty. Referee wasting no time in pointing to the spot. Wengwe getting back up onto his feet to smash the ball in off the underside of the bar. From a goal down, it's now Dorchester Town 2, Swindon Supermarine 1.
Thanks, Clarkey. They've turned it around. Havant and Waterlooville haven't, though. They are still 2-0 down at home to Truro in the National League South, our other featured non-league game this afternoon, with commentary of Weymouth still on Dorset frequencies. So it is back to McDonnell in the Eastleigh goal to our left-hand side. We've got 18 minutes of normal time to go. Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 5. So I think quite believe what we're saying here. Eastleigh at the moment are heading for their heaviest ever defeat in the top flight of non-league football. They've conceded 5 before against Gateshead last season, so it's twice in a row against Gateshead they've conceded 5. They've conceded 5 at home to Dover, but they've always scored in these games. They've never lost 5-0 at home in the top flight of non-league football. They're heading for their heaviest home defeat for well more than a decade. Here's Barlow, wide to Quigley. Quigley into the edge of the box on the left footer. Sails well wide past the far post and out of play for a goal kick. Well, I'm not sure what you can say about that one, really. Goal kick. 5-0 Gateshead lead, and we've got just over a quarter of an hour to play. Last time Eastleigh beat Gateshead here was back in April 2019. Raider Johnson with the only goal of the game. The infamous defender. That was back when Eastleigh managed to reach the playoffs that season, finishing 7th. Right now, who knows what's round the corner? When the permanent manager will be announced, we'll have to wait and see. Whoever's coming in, whoever is the manager, they're arriving with the club having picked up 7 points from 8 games, and Gateshead now just happy to just walk it around the back at the moment. Tinkler goes wide to the right hand side for Gateshead, who are in possession. Quarter of an hour to go. I mean, I know we've got this rule now with the 4th official putting up about 10 minutes of stoppage time, but surely they won't do it this afternoon. I think both sides will not want that. Through ball now though, and they're one-on-one with a goalkeeper again here. Gateshead, it's another goal for Billy Chadwick, this time the substitute. He's only been on the pitch a couple of minutes. It is 6 for Gateshead, the most goals Eastleigh have ever scored at home in the top flight of non-league football. It is Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 6. Chadwick in behind the defence. McDonnell has had absolutely no protection from his defence today, or the team in general. It's a team effort, but there's been nothing between the defence and the midfield. It's been just the worst home performance I think Eastleigh have ever had in the National League. Here's Rutherford. 6-0 Chadwick on the score sheet that time. Well, they were booed off at half-time, Eastleigh. They're certainly going to get booed off at full-time. 14 minutes left. Clamping up to Baldwin for Eastleigh, halfway inside the Gateshead half. Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 6. Gateshead in possession. 4 in the first half, 2 in the second.
I'm going to give Joe 6.
And a Tinkler goes out to the right-hand side.
Yeah.
In possession now, on halfway.
Rutherford deserves a 4 because he went on.
So Gateshead are in possession, right at the centre circle. And they will just keep possession now. But again, they've won the second half so far, 2-0 Gateshead here. As they come forward, and how many times they got in behind the defence, Gateshead? Incredibly. I must have said Gateshead are one-on-one about 10 times today. I mean, great play from them to get themselves into that situation as well. They're always moving about, Gateshead. Here's Baldwin. Back to Langston for Eastleigh. Another goal at Wesley Park. Have Havant and Waterloo got themselves back into it, or is it game over? Let's find out. Tom Murray.
Waldo, the Hawks have got themselves back into it through that man Mo Fowl. He's put in down the left-hand side of the penalty area, although I'm just going to see if they get a chance here. They might have just won themselves a corner. I'll tell you about the goal that's got them back into the game. Fowl was put into the penalty area, really well-threaded pass down the left-hand side. His first-time shot was saved by Partington, and the ball, he managed to keep it in play on the byline with them, and with Partington sprawled on the floor, managed to smash in the loose ball into the back of an empty net. The Hawks are back in this game with about 10 minutes to go.
Thanks, Tom. So it's not over yet in that game. Here come Gateshead on the halfway line. And now here's Tinkler, and the Hawks might be able to force a point there, you never know, which would be give them something to build on under Steve King. In the meantime, here's Francis, and Francis back to Booty. Booty in field now as Gateshead diagonal pass to the left-hand side. Here's Hannon short pass for Gateshead. Here's the substitute, the man who scored a second ago, Chadwick, in field. Hannon's going to hit it here. No, he's not. He plays the pass. I think he was going to at one point. Thought about it. And the way Gateshead are playing, why not have a go anywhere you are, really, any kind of space you're in. It's 6-0 to Gateshead at the Silver Lake Stadium. And Baldwin comes back towards the defender, Rendell, who comes to halfway to Quigley. So Quigley in possession for Eastleigh. That's given away straight at Richardson, and now here is Ollie. Seems a long time ago now when he opened the scoring for Gateshead. Gateshead in possession, 10 to play. Now in the centre circle, Francis left to Booty. Booty in field. Here he is again, playing it short now at the moment. So Gateshead coming to Eastleigh have scored 11 goals in 2 games. We include last season. Every time they play, there's always goals. We've never seen a 0-0, I don't think, between these two teams. We've seen 6 so far today. They've all come to the away side. Chadwick switches it from left to right.
What time we will go to 5?
But plays a 1-2. Back again, halfway inside the Eastleigh half. 30 yards from goal. That goes square. It's a chance now for Booty. Booty goes left towards Hannant, and then Hannant has it for Gateshead down the left of midfield, crosses it in. It's a wayward cross, and out of play for a goal kick with 10 minutes to go.
Very disappointed birthday boy, you didn't take the penalties off. Thank you.
Goal kick. Gateshead, 6 goals for them. In fact, we said about when Gateshead were in the relegation zone. They were in the relegation zone back in March, 4th of March, after a defeat home to Chesterfield. And then they went on and just lost 2 in 14 in all competitions. Eastleigh was the opposite last season. They were doing really well up until the last 5 or 6 games, and then derailed. At one point, 7 points into a playoff place, didn't make it in the end. did well in the first place to get themselves into that position. But right now, they are in the bottom 8 of the National League, very early stages of the season. Here's Hannant in space, goes short, back again, and Tinkler goes square for Gateshead. They lead 6-0 and they come forward here with Richardson, and Richardson is 35 yards from goal, and Richardson feeds it through, and Richardson's pass is too far for Conor McBride. Back to Rutherford, thank you. My water bottle's just gone to the floor there. Thank you to Mike Vimperley in front, who's retrieved it. He was just about to throw it like a javelin out of the stands, but fortunately he gave it back to me. Fortunately, here come Eastleigh down the left-hand side, halfway inside the Gateshead half, and then comes back towards Zatangana with 8 minutes of normal time left, and we'll bring you some more scores elsewhere in a second. Forward towards McCallum. Forward it comes for Gateshead, and Langston is going to clear it high up the field. Oh, and Gateshead nearly give it away. That was nearly a chance for Quigley to get in there with a misplaced pass. Almost it wasn't. Stevenage, who are doing well, right up there with Portsmouth in League 1 at the moment. They're 2-1 up now at home to Carlisle in League 1. The other game in League 1 is currently Exeter 1, Leyton Orient 1. Mansfield 3-0 up at Accrington in League 2. AFC Wimbledon 1, Stockport 2. Colchester 1, Tranmere 0. Crawley are now 4-1 up at home to Newport. Crewe are 4-1 up at Forest Green. Gillingham Harrogate's goalless. MK Dons Notts County's 1-1. Walsall are 2-1 up at Salford, and Swindon are 4-3 up at home to Sutton. Lots of goals going in there, and it's Wrexham 1, Doncaster 1. England in action in Euro qualifiers tonight, 5 o'clock kickoff against Ukraine. Number of our Bournemouth, Southampton, Portsmouth players in international duty over the weekend as well. We'll keep you up to date with that in our breakfast sport bulletins from 7 o'clock next week. Gateshead in possession now from the left-hand corner of the centre circle, and that goes down the left and back towards Booty. With his bright green boots for Gateshead on the halfway line. AFC Fylde 0, Aldershot 2. A long trip for Eastleigh next week. And by the way, I don't know who did the fixtures, but Gateshead are not only here today, but they're at Aldershot next weekend. Goal at Havant and Waterlooville could be a big one. Let's find out, or is it not? Tom Murray.
Well, I'm afraid, Wildo, it's gone into Truro's favour. The Cornish side now lead by 3-1. They had a free kick out on the left. It was crossed into the box. Bit of a goalmouth scramble, sent it out for a corner, and from that corner delivered towards the back post, headed in by Will Dean right into the back of the net. Sent the Truro fans wild. They've got that 2-goal cushion back, and Havant's way back into the game is short-lived. 3-1.
Thanks, Tom. So a shame for the Hawks. Eastleigh 6-0 down here with 6 minutes of normal time left. Not much to tell you about at the moment, apart from but it's being played in the middle third. Gateshead in possession. It's Bromley 4, Maidenhead 1 still. Barnet are 2-0 up at home to Altrincham. Chesterfield have equalised at home to Dagenham Redbridge. That's 1-1. Dagenham Redbridge down to 10 men. And now Gateshead are in possession down the right, halfway inside the Eastleigh half, with Conor McBride, who goes in field. Kidderminster 1, Rochdale 1, the away side equalising. Still goalless between Oldham and Dorking. Oxford City have gone 5-2 up at home to Hartlepool as Tinkler comes forward for Gateshead. Chadwick wants it, Taylor makes the challenge, and then Langston clears. It's Wealdstone 2, Ebbsfleet 1, who are down to 10 men. Woking 1, Solihull Moors 1, and York 2, Boreham Wood 2. As well as the Hawks being 3-1 down at home to Truro. It is currently Dover 0, Weymouth 2, both sides down to 10 men. And in the Southern League Premier Division, Dorchester 2-1 up home to Swindon Supermarine. Jordan Clark's there for us, presenting the show from the Avenue. 1-1 between AFC Totton and Hendon. Didcot still lead Winchester by 1-0. And Hazen Yedding 2, Paul 1, but it's half-time because they were 45 minutes late kicking off that one. And it's currently Gosport 4, Hungerford 0. All comes down the right-hand side for Eastleigh on the halfway line now, with Rutherford with just over 4 minutes of normal time remaining on all Hampshire frequencies, smart speaker and online. Comes off the foots there of Hannant, and it's another throw for Eastleigh of 15 yards inside the Gateshead half. Well, McBride gives it away. So Eastleigh are heading for their heaviest ever home defeat. Not only their home defeat, but their heaviest ever defeat, full stop, in the National League. First time they've ever conceded 6 goals in the National League. McDonnell out to Clampett. And Eastleigh just have it at the back at the moment. And we said in the first half, all the chances came for Gateshead. Well, the theme is the same in the second. They've all come for Gateshead. They've taken 2 of them instead of 4, but they had more chances first half. But that is, again, I think because they've just generally slowed it down a bit second half. But they've still, despite doing that, managed to get 2 goals. Here's Baldwin for Eastleigh. Clampin picks it up and comes past halfway inside the Gateshead half. It comes up to the left-hand corner penalty area now, and that's given away. And one back from Francis. And Francis is up to the halfway line, to the right of the centre circle.
Giving Barlow a glowing 6.
And Gateshead are just happy to keep possession right now.
The tango, what's he done?
And then goes to the left-hand side. 10 yards away from the left-hand corner penalty area. Infield.
I thought you were a birthday boy.
And then that's out to the left-hand side. Infield now to Chadwick. Chips into the right-hand corner of the 6-yard box. And that is off the head of the Gateshead player. As Aidan Rutledge is forced out to the right-hand side. He's not going to keep it in play. It's a goal kick for Eastleigh instead. 2.5 minutes of normal time left. And it's one of those where if we do see about 9 come up on the fourth officials board, you will hear a lot of groans around the Silver Lake Stadium. I don't think they'll be doing that today with the new rule and the water break and the substitutions. Common sense would mean they'll probably just play 3, but we'll have to see. Chesterfield 2, Downham Redbridge 1. Chesterfield have turned it around. They lead by 2 goals to 1. Quigley brings it down with his back to goal. That goes square to Barlow. Barlow's 10 yards away from the penalty area. Out to the right to Rutherford. Rutherford into the box towards Baldwin. Oh, and this is a concern because McCallum's on the floor. Doesn't look in a good way. Is he carrying on though? Clampin chipped it in. Barlow header over the bar. That's probably his best chance. But he's headed it over from a ball in from the left-hand side. Chipped in. Barlow headed up. Goal kick. 90 seconds to go. I think it might just be a touch of cramp for Paul McCallum, who fell to the floor off the ball. We'll bring you the interview as soon as we can of Richard Hill. I can imagine it might be quite some time if he's in there with the players in the changing rooms after the game. We'll have to wait and see. But either way, we will bring it to you. A minute of normal time remains. And we're going to have a bit of a drinks break in the meantime, or a few Eastleigh players coming over towards the near side. Richard Hill with some late instructions to his players. Well, Mike Williamson, again, he sat back down in his dugout. Been in charge now for 4 years. Guided Gateshead back up to the top flight of non-league football. McCallum looks like he's hobbling off here. I think it's cramp. It looked like it anyway. He's walking over towards this near side now for Eastleigh. I think his afternoon might be over. Heading into stoppage time imminently in this non-league special today with Saints, Cherries and Pompey all in action again next weekend. Again, a reminder, live football commentary next Friday night. Southampton away at home to Leicester St Mary's Stadium. Adam Blackmore and Joe Tesson. And then Pompey in action next weekend, and Bournemouth as well. Andy Moon and Guy Whittingham and Chris Temple and Willow will be providing you commentary next weekend. 5 minutes of added time indicated from the fourth official. Portsmouth at Derby next. That's next Saturday. 3 o'clock kickoff. Here is Ollie for Gateshead. Bournemouth in action next Sunday. They're home to Chelsea. That one's a 2 p.m. kickoff. Here is Ollie. 6-0 for Gateshead. We're heading into the second minute of stoppage time of 5. And at the moment they have it inside Eastleigh's half, and they might look to try and get a 7th here while they're at it. Here's Richardson, wide to the right hand side, in possession. Well, you would hope that Eastleigh will look back at this day today and look at it as the worst day of the season. Carlisle equalising late at Stevenage. It's 2-2 now in League One. And Gateshead have been, again, don't take anything away from Gateshead, and one of the most professional performances I've ever seen at the Silver Lake Stadium over all these years. Everyone has played well for them, individually and as a team. Francis, back out, right-footed cross, and the header wasn't that far off in the end from the edge of the 6-yard box. Well, it's a good ball in. They tried to head it into the bottom corner, but it went wide past the far post from the substitute Aidan Rutledge. And now they play for a goal kick. Paul McCallum is okay, he's back onto the pitch. McCallum's back on. And we played 2 minutes of 5 minutes of stoppage time. Eastleigh 0, Gateshead 6. Thought we might see goals today on all Hampshire frequencies. Didn't think we'd see 6. Certainly not for one team. As we said before the game, Gateshead were favourites going into this game. Here's Langston. Back to McDonnell. And now you can see why. Headed on from Gateshead towards Rutherford. Rutherford in possession for Eastleigh. Pressure from Chadwick. And Taylor. Back to Rendell. Infield to Rutherford to Barlow. Barlow, good trickery from him, who comes forward halfway inside the Gateshead half. Barlow forward there, that's too far again for Quigley. And the move breaks down and goes back to the goalkeeper. We've got 2 minutes of stoppage time of the 5. That's all we've got left here of stoppage time in this game. Dover 1, Weymouth 3 in our other live commentary. Goals coming in pretty quickly there. Weymouth did go 3-0 up from Rollinson, but Dover getting a goal 3 minutes from time. Still Hawks 1, Truro 3 at Wesley Park. Harrow 3, Sholing 2 in the Southern Premier League as well. So goals going in there. 2 for Sholing after Harrow had gone 3-0 up. Sholing getting 2 goals. Still in that game there elsewhere. Still Dorchester 2-1 up against Swindon Supermarine, and it's still Didcot 1, Winchester 0, and it's still Hazen-Yedding 2, Poole 1, and Gosport still falling up in their game at home to Hungerford. Taylor fouls his man. That's AFC Tottenham 1, Hendon 1 is still the latest score as well. Gateshead have a free kick edge of the penalty area. Another late goal for Chesterfield, who are now 3-1 up at home to Ben Strevens, Dagenham and Redbridge. York 2, Bournemouth 2 now. There's some late goals going in elsewhere in the National League, but either way we've got just a minute of stoppage time to come here. We're on air till 6 o'clock, BBC Radio Solent Sport. Get those tweets, texts, WhatsApp messages coming in. Goodness me, lots to talk about as far as this game's concerned. Tweet at Solent Sport, text 81333, Solent your first word. WhatsApp 080032133, again Solent your first word as I say. Text 81333, Solent your first word, and tweet us at Solent Sport. Tinkle in possession. Just seconds remains in this game on the halfway line as Gateshead have it in the centre circle. Francis for Gateshead. Left-footed chip. Atom Garner's going to let that go. The referee's going to look at his whistle. Or look at his watch and not look at his whistle. He's going to blow his whistle. And that is full time. More boos. It's been a fantastic afternoon for Gateshead. One to remember for them, but one to instantly forget for Eastleigh, who've conceded 6 goals for the first time ever in the National League. 4 in the first half, 2 in the second. It didn't get any better for Eastleigh in the end, and they have lost by 6 goals to 0. 5 players getting themselves on the score sheet for Gateshead, and in the end Eastleigh haven't created anything. I can only really think of that one chance towards the end, which was a ball in from the left and a header from Barlow outside the 6-yard box, which went over the bar. Apart from that, that's been about it as far as Eastleigh are concerned. We will hand over now to all Solent frequencies because there's lots of stoppage time in the game between Dover and Weymouth. Weymouth were 3-1 up the last we heard. Let's go over now for the closing stages of that game with Cliff Pledge.